3:5. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. Here we see that it is possible to have your name blotted out of the book of life. This alone proves you can lose your salvation. Some might say, maybe everyone starts with their name in the book of life. However, we can see that there are those who never had their names written in the book of life to begin with. Revelation 17:8. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. Now, some may mistakenly take this as a proof verse for fatalistic predestination, which I believe is an error and a topic for another day. But what we can see unquestionably is that everyone does not start off with their name in the book of life. Therefore, if you don't start with your name in the book of life, at some point it must be written in the book, which presumably is the moment you put your faith in him. And now we know those who fail to overcome will have their names blotted out. Again, he that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name of the book of life. So as we can see, that one, you do not start off with your name in the book of life, and your name can be blotted out of the book of life. So what gets your name in the book of life? It is obvious. Faith in Christ, because it is upon believing in Christ that you do what? Pass from death into life. Your name is written in the book of life when you believe. But here, it is clear that your name can be blotted out.
So the problem with using Revelation 3:5 is that, first of all, it does not say that those that do not overcome will get their name blotted out of the book of life, but rather it gives an affirmative statement that their name will not get blotted out. It says, I will not blot out his name out of the book of life. The problem with assuming that this phrase can just be reversed is that that's not necessarily true. For example, if I tell you, if you give me your car keys, I will not lose them. It would not be reasonable to assume that if you do not give me your car keys, then I will lose them, because that makes zero sense. How could I lose something that I never had in my possession? And so in the same way, it does not say he that does not overcome, the same will I blot out of the book of life. But rather, it says that he that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life. This is a promise by God that he will not ever blot us out of the book of life. Now, some might say, well, what does it mean to overcome? Well, I'm glad you asked. In 1 John 5:4-5, we see John, who also wrote Revelation, define for us what it means to overcome. John said, for whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. Who is he that overcometh the world, but he that believeth that Jesus is the Son of God? And so in Revelation 3:5, those that overcome are those that put their faith in Jesus Christ. And so if you fit that definition, that category of being saved, of having put your faith in Jesus Christ, you have overcome the world. You are them that overcome. And God is making a promise, I will not blot out his name out of the book of life. If you are saved, God is promising you that he will never blot out your name out of the book of life. In an upcoming verse, I will cover in more detail what I believe about the book of life. But just kind of to quickly summarize what I believe, I do not believe that God only has one book, but rather I believe that there are two books, the book of the living and the book of life, the Lamb's book of life. The book of the living contains the names of everyone that is currently living on this earth, while the Lamb's book of life only contains the names of those that are saved. And so Young Don is right. There are some people whose names are never written in the book of life. But where he's wrong is that only those that have overcome, only those that are saved, have ever had their name in the book of life. And so God cannot blot out the names of those that have not overcome, because their names were never there in the first place. Again, I give you my example from earlier. If I tell you, I will not lose your car keys if you give them to me. If you don't give them to me, you're in no risk of me losing your car keys. In the same way, only those that have overcome, only those that are saved, have their name in the book of life, in the Lamb's book of life. And so those that do not overcome are not written in the Lamb's book of life, and so they cannot even have their name blotted out in the first place. If you are saved, if you have overcome, if you have put your faith in Jesus Christ to save you, he has made you a promise that he will not blot out your name. And so since God cannot lie, he has actually promised you that you will be saved forever, that you will always be saved, that you cannot lose your salvation.